The cold press myth. Okay, we'll try to make it short. First of all, I remember, I don't want to say too much in a negative way because I love the owners of Kuvings and Tribest and Nama juicers. These are wonderful people. They're great people, but we don't know how this thing got started. But, the evolution of slow juicers started, I think, in the mid 80s with what I think they called it the Green Star.
Yeah.
So
Tribest came out with it.
You're referring to a slow juicer as both a cold press juicer and a masticating juicer?
They're both.
They're both. They're pretty much both the same. One's horizontal, one's vertical.
And most slow juicers aren't cold press, even though they're marketed that way. A cold press would be like the Pure juicer or the old, Norwalk. Yeah. Those kind of juicers that actually have an effective press.
That's cold.
The juice
that presses it. So
in the commercial world, like a Good Nature.
Yes, the Good Nature we have on our counter.
We have the Hummingbird here in our kitchen.
Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful people as well. But the thing is that you have the vertical slow juicers, or cold, I don't like to call them cold press because we don't believe they're cold press.
Not.
We have the vertical juicers, and then also the horizontal, and they both grind up. They have a triturator that slowly turns around, and they love to say, oh, it only, it's really going to preserve the enzymes because it's going so slow, 35 RPMs, right, and even slower sometimes. But the thing is what they're not telling you, there's two big myths. First, I'll talk about the first one. What they're not telling you is it takes 3 to 4 times longer to extract the juice from these slow juicers than it does when you're juicing from a fast juicer. By the time we're done juicing 32 ounces of, let's say, carrot, spinach, celery, apple, and whatever, they're still only 25% through because they have to wait for it to grind and twist and go around. And then the second part, which is really disturbing to me, is they have the audacity, to say, oh, look at this juice. It's got fiber in it. This is so important. You want to be drinking that fiber with the juice. You listen to Jay Cordich's lecture. He'll tell you that's the worst thing you can do is drink juice with fiber because that fiber needs to be chewed. Okay, you can't just be swallowing fiber. The body doesn't know what to do with it. You're going to blow it up. You might as well just blend it, And then, so what happens if they say, oh, and the third one, sorry, there is one more. And the third one is, oh, well, look at how dry the pulp is coming out. It's so dry, but with a fast juicer, all that pulp is so wet back there. Oh yeah, well, we did a test once and we put the slow juicer with the fast juicer, and it came out identical. You know why? Because there was so much pulp in a slow juicer that when you strained the juice twice and you put that wet pulp back in the dry pulp, it came out to be the same. And sometimes I would say even with the carrots, when you're talking about carrot, the fast juicer was even more effective because one of the things we talk about, which maybe we can talk about some other time, is that the straining basket of a fast juicer has little narrow slits.
I'll show you. I've got a little example right here. So what you hear about is mastication with slow juicers. You hear about, oh, it's got a masticator, right? Nothing could be farther from the truth. Nothing can mimic the teeth in our heads. There's nothing like our mouths to actually masticate. What they're doing, like a cold press juicer, like the Norwalk, the Good Nature, or any of these other juicers, like the Pure juicer, I think the Norwalk is now no longer being sold as far as new. They're pulverizing the pulp, which is the last thing you want to do. It's breaking open every living cell wall of the material that you're juicing. That's the last thing you want to do. A centrifugal juicer has these little shredding blades.
Amazing.
So important. And even Dr. Norman Walker, who was, the one who used a so-called masticating cold press juicer, said it in his own books. The key is surface area. So when you shred with these blades inside the centrifugal juicer here, you're creating an elongated shred of pulp. That pulp rolls up the side of this basket, and in centrifugal action, the centrifuge extracts all the juice in just a half a turn of this disc. Just 1/2 a turn. So it's going to render the juice more quickly. It's not going to oxidate it like they say. That's another false
oxidation, right.
That's another false report. There's no oxidation that occurs. Denaturing, the change of the pH in the juice is what makes the enzyme change. The air is not doing that in a fashion through a half of a turn that the juice comes through and into the juice bowl. But you hear all these reports, and there's actually studies that they cite that were paid for by these juicing companies that make the slow juicers. And companies like Breville have fought back, which we love to see. They are able to actually use the term cold in selling and marketing their juicers because they have a study that fights the study that the slow juicers put out, which is there is no heat, there is no friction, and then within a half a turn, that juice is in the juice bowl and in your glass. So there's no oxidation.
That's what I mean. We hear all the time when we talk to people and they call and say, I'm looking for a cold pressed juicer. And I ask why. And the first thing they say is, well, we don't want our juice heated up. And I'm like, it does not heat up the juice. I mean, as quick as that turns and the product goes through it, there's no way that it could heat it up. But who am I? I needed some experts to help.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought this up. This is the stuff that makes us crazy because we love humanity. We love people. We don't want to see them being manipulated. And this is exactly what they've been done. They've been manipulated by marketing companies to persuade you to buy their product. But we do not sell the Breville juicer. We do not sell any juicers, for a matter of fact. So we like to be free like that, so we can teach, with authenticity and not feeling like we're persuading people to go one way or the other. But the truth is that Jay used to always say, like, the moment that carrot hits the blade, within 1/2 of a turn, that pulp is out the back, the juice is in the glass. And I can tell you, I have used every juicer, and Carl and I have used for years, and every single slow juicer heats up.
That's right.
Okay, fast juicers do not heat up. It is a complete and utter fallacy.
And Linda and Jay have collectively over 100 years of experience. And the proof is in the pudding. Yeah. Jay and Linda, well, Jay especially, never promoted a slow juicer or a cold press juicer during his whole career of teaching and going on the road and doing seminars. He always promoted the centrifugal pulp ejecting juicer. The slow juicers, like the original slow juicer, which is the cold press juicer, which was a K&K masticator, along with the Wells press, was around since the 20s and 30s. It's what Dr. Max Gerson used to help Jay get on his juicing journey. But Jay saw what it lacked. And once he studied with Dr. Edward Howell, who was the enzymologist that I cited earlier, he realized that the enzyme was changing by the time you drank that cold press juice or that slow juicer. And that's why he helped develop the modern pulp ejecting centrifugal juicer, because before that, it was just a centrifuge. There was no place for the pulp to go and eject out of the machine.
It was like the Acme Supremerator, if you remember from the 70s. Yeah. They would just spin around.
Check us out at JuicerNet and profit while promoting health.